So my older brother, when he was in college, he went to tailgate with his buddies for a cold November home football game. My brother's job is to make the hot toddy. So they pool their money together, they buy whiskey, they buy some tea, they got hot water, honey, the whole setup. So he goes to make it and he's cooking it for a while, right? And he starts doling it out to everyone. Half an hour later, 3 or 4 drinks in, they realize that no one is really feeling anything, right? They're feeling warm, but they're not really feeling that whiskey kick. So they go back to my brother and they're like, sorry, step by step, walk us through how you made this. So he says, well, I added the whiskey, the hot water, the honey. I boiled that sucker for a good half an hour to make sure it was nice and hot. Of course, they realize that he has cooked all the alcohol out of the mixture, rendering it pretty much useless. We are not gonna make that mistake today. We'll find that we add the whiskey at the very end. It works nicely. This is my favorite version of a hot toddy. I like to call it a gingerbread hot toddy because it tastes just like that. So I'm gonna show you how to make one. Okay, let's get to work on this hot toddy. So the most important part to this hot toddy, truthfully, is to make sure your water is boiling. A lot of people make this mistake, but it's really important. You're gonna add some room temperature whiskey, some sugar, molasses. So if your water isn't hot enough, the drink doesn't taste quite hot enough. So we've got water on a rolling boil back here. It's very important. So first step, we're gonna add a little bit of sugar, about a half a teaspoon, and then the same amount of molasses. This is truthfully gonna be the thing that gives us that most amount of gingerbread flavor is this molasses. So those 2 ingredients in there, we're gonna add our hot water. So a good 4 ounces of hot water in here, stir to incorporate the sugar and molasses. Next up is a good dose of bourbon. We love bourbon in this, it's got this sort of caramely note that matches well with the gingerbread and the chai tea and so on. So bourbon's in there. The last ingredient is a little bit of chai tea. If you can't find this fancy chai tea, a little slice of ginger and some black tea works really nicely. Tie it around to secure it. And while that's steeping, we're gonna make our garnish. So a nice, long orange twist. So now you've got it, right? Your own fancy, simple gingerbread hot toddy. It's really good. If you have a secret family recipe, share it with me in the comments. I like to try new recipes all the time. Otherwise, check back next week. We'll have another episode coming out. Otherwise, drink up. Oh, it is hot. Ah.